So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about commodity producers and how to find the low-cost producers and what are a few essential things I would be doing if I was looking at a commodity company to invest in. So firstly, the reason you'd want to even find a low-cost producer is because in an environment where there is no difference between one competitor from another, with the exception of pricing, the ability to produce something at a cheaper price gives you a huge edge because by definition, commodity products are pretty much the exact same to one another, meaning you would look to sell them at the exact same price. So if a downturn were to occur, as a lot of these commodity products are very cyclical, what that would mean is often the ones that can produce it the cheapest are often going to survive the longest and thrive the best in both good times and bad times. And what I would be doing in this instance is essentially assessing a few things. So a lot of the time you can get a breakdown sort of based on the sort of volume and their sort of the volume that they produce and also sort of the costs associated with it, and you can work out that way, sort of like a cost per barrel or a cost to extract a certain ton. However, it's not always that straightforward. A couple other things I would be looking at as well is just sort of how profitable are some of these companies during these environments, and also sort of like what's the balance sheet looking like, how is the sort of the track record been, has the company ever defaulted, has it been profitable for every single year throughout its period, and so forth. And the reason is because you're trying to get an insight into sort of how the business is operating. You want to understand sort of where it sits on the cost curve as well. Because if you have one sort of, let's say, coal producer that's thriving during this period, yes, it's not as profitable as potentially in the highs, but it's still doing really well. And you have another that's just barely break even. To me, that signals that one is more likely than the other to be the high cost producer. And if you know that one company has been in and out of bankruptcy and the second has had a very profitable track record, chances are it'll stay that way because of its ability to produce at a low cost and therefore redistribute. This is crucial for commodity type businesses, and often the reason actually as to why they have low returns is because there's nothing to distinguish them. They have the same sort of prices they sell for, so it's really who can do it the cheapest. So it's a race to the ground, and you want to be certain that the company you're holding is able to win that race at the very least. The balance sheet also does help. Obviously, if you have more debt, that's going to make your sort of cost to produce higher because of all the interest and so forth that you're paying. And as well, you have less margin of safety due to being able to sort of take out less debt in the instance that your business does actually end up running into some difficulty during a cyclical period. Thanks for listening.